Alright guys, welcome back. So here recently I was contacted by a viewer. This guy sent me an email and asked a question that I really had to kind of sit down and think about for a minute before I could give my answer. So I wanted to make this video real quick to kind of talk about the question, talk about my answer to him, and maybe get you guys' opinion on this as well. But I had a guy get a hold of me and said, hey, you know, with the elections coming up, you know, we don't know what's going to happen, who's going to get in office. And, if, you know, just in case if a certain person gets in and, you know, a gun ban goes through or whatever, I'd like to have, you know, I'd like to get an AR and I'd like it to be real high quality, you know, something really nice. And he went on to say that he was looking at Daniel Defense, but then started watching some videos on YouTube and reviews, reading reviews and things about, you know, the Sig MCX. And then he started thinking that maybe he wanted this one and really didn't know which way to go. So he asked me what my opinion was. And as most of you know, I've had this MCX for a little while now and absolutely love it. It's a great rifle. And I've also had some Daniel Defense rifles in the past, and those are excellent as well. So this is where I had to think about it and kind of explain my answer a little bit. And you know, with him, the good thing was there was really no wrong answer. Either one that he bought was going to be excellent. But with the Sig, as most of you probably know, it's a little bit different than your standard AR rifle. It's kind of a step forward, in my opinion, kind of an evolution of it. You have a few small parts that interchange, but for the most part, the way it works is kind of proprietary. With the Daniel Defense, you've got more of your standard type AR and, you know, a lot of parts interchangeability, no matter if they're Daniel Defense or not. So let's just say that election time comes, a certain person gets in office, and, you know, a gun ban goes through and you can't buy this stuff anymore. Nothing else can be produced or whatever. And say you have the MCX and something goes wrong with it, you're not going to be able to walk into your local gun shop and necessarily find parts to get this thing back up and running. Whereas the Daniel Defense, being standard AR, parts interchangeability, you can probably walk in there and find parts to get it back up and running. So I kind of explained that, and it kind of got me thinking about it. If it's going to be your only AR, do you want a rifle that you can get parts readily available, you know, fairly common, and get it back up and running if something did happen? Or do you want the MCX, where it might be a little more difficult? So that was kind of the question and kind of how I answered it. I'm just curious to see what you guys' opinions are. Which one would you recommend? Do you kind of feel the same way I do? Do you have different opinions on it? And again, this was all kind of hypothetical, a kind of what if this happens type scenario. You know, hopefully nothing like that does happen, but there is a chance that it could. But anyhow, guys, love to hear you guys' opinions on this. Leave it down in the comment section below. I'd love to take a look at it and see what you guys have to say. But anyhow, guys, appreciate everybody watching. Appreciate everybody subscribing. We'll catch you in the next one.